They say the biggest person always forgives. They say taking the high road is the only way to find peace. But what if peace is just a word people use to keep you quiet while they step over your body? 3 years ago, my best friend and my boyfriend didn't just break my heart, they detonated my entire life. And last week, they had the audacity to ask me to hold the matches while they lit their wedding candles. They wanted my presence to prove their lie was a love story. But they forgot one thing. Silence doesn't mean I'm over it. It means I'm finished with you. If you've ever been told to be the bigger person by the very people who crushed you, hit that like button right now. Today's story is a masterclass in why your absence is sometimes the most powerful thing you can give someone. Subscribe, settle in, and let's talk about the cost of a perfect wedding. My name is Frida G. Matthews. I'm 32, and for a long time, I believed in the version of myself that was reasonable. The version that played nice. That version died 3 years ago in Tessa's townhouse. I can still smell the expensive vanilla candles she always had burning. I had a spare key, the kind you give a sister. I walked in to drop off a surprise coffee, and there was Mason. My Mason. The man I'd spent 5 years building a world with. He wasn't just there. It was the way they looked at me, not with the shock of a mistake, but with the irritation of an interruption. It was a relationship already settled into the furniture. In 60 seconds, I lost my partner and the woman who held my hand when my mother died. I didn't scream. I didn't throw the coffee. I felt a cold, structural shift inside my chest. I went home, packed Mason's life into cardboard boxes, and left them at his brother's place with one sentence: "Do not contact me again unless someone is dead." The reconstruction. I treated my life like a house after fire. I stripped it to the studs. I moved. I changed my gym. I blocked them everywhere, except, foolishly, through text, thinking a real emergency might one day require a logistics talk. I rebuilt. I bought a place in Lakewood. I got promoted. I learned to breathe without checking the air for lies. My silence wasn't a stunt, it was a border wall. The audacity. Then came the text. 3 years of silence broken by a paragraph, so long it felt like a hostage negotiation. "Frida, it's Mason. Tessa and I are getting married in 6 weeks. We've grown so much. We want you there for closure. To heal old wounds." I read it 3 times. Closure? They didn't want closure. They wanted a witness. They wanted me to stand in a room full of flowers and expensive linen and essentially say, "It's okay that you destroyed me, because look how pretty your centerpieces are." I replied, "No thanks. Wishing you both the best." The flying monkeys? That should have been it. But then the group chat people started circling. You know the ones. The friends who weren't there when you were crying into takeout containers, but suddenly care about group harmony when there's an open bar involved. "Mason is worried about you," one said. "Tessa just wants peace," said another. That's when it clicked. They weren't worried about my healing. They were terrified of the empty chair. In a room full of people who knew how they started, my absence would be a glowing neon sign that read, "They are liars." They needed me to be a decorative piece of their redemption arc. The investigation. I started asking casual questions, listening to the cracks. I found out they'd broken up twice. That Tessa was obsessing over the wedding like a drill sergeant, trying to use perfect lighting to hide a rotten foundation. My sister Naomi, a nurse practitioner who sees through people like an X-ray, put it perfectly. They are asking you to do emotional labor for them. They want you to absorb their guilt so they can have a nice day. That's not your job. But then she challenged me. "If you're really over it, could you go?" I sat in my kitchen that night, looking at my wine glass. Could I go? Yes. I could wear a designer dress, keep my face a mask of polite boredom, and leave early. But if I went, I'd be helping them rewrite history. I'd be the mature ex who proved the betrayal wasn't that bad. But it was that bad. And I wasn't going to hand them the glue to fix what they broke. The Saturday of the wedding arrived. I didn't stay home. I didn't wallow. 2 hours before the ceremony, while Tessa was likely in a silk robe having her makeup done, I sent a group text to Mason, Tessa, and the entire wedding party. Hope everyone's having a beautiful Saturday. Funny how distance can teach you what loyalty actually looks like. Enjoy the day. I attached a photo. Me at a sunny brewery, surrounded by real friends, laughing, looking radiant, and most importantly, looking like I hadn't thought about them in years. I didn't need to see the reception to know what happened. I heard it through the grapevine later. Tessa spent her wedding morning in stressed tears, not the happy kind. Every time a guest asked, "Where's Frida?" the room tilted. The best man's speech about friends who stood by us felt like a lead balloon. My absence had a shape. It had a weight. By refusing to show up and smile, I forced every guest in that room to remember exactly how that love story began. I didn't ruin their wedding. Their choices did that. I just refused to be the filter that made it look clean 6 months later. Their marriage is already struggling. Not because of a curse, but because you can't build a cathedral on a swamp. They wanted me to help them rewrite the beginning, and I chose to let the silence tell the truth instead. Some doors are meant to stay shut, and some people don't deserve the grace of your presence. If this story reminded you that no is a complete sentence, smash that like button. Have you ever had an ex or a former friend try to recruit you into their new life just to make themselves feel better? Tell me your story in the comments. I read every single one. Don't forget to subscribe for more stories of justice and standing your ground. Until next time, stay petty or stay peaceful. The choice is yours.